So going back to your Georgia Tech days, fresh out of high school into college, curious. So Christian fraternity, right? What was your desire? Why was that something that intrigued you? And then once you answer that, talk about what are the benefits in being in something like that. Were you in it all 4 years?
I was. Yeah, I was in
so
it all 4 years.
What intrigued you? Why did you want to do that?
That's a good question. So Georgia Tech is a very unique school. It's a super diverse school. It's also, like I said, it is like a prestigious school. So there are a lot of smart people there,
like you,
like,
right?
no, yeah, like me,
yeah, no.
Nerdy, if you will.
Okay, yeah.
And so that was also another reason that I was struggling my first years, because I really felt like I just didn't fit in.
Gotcha.
Really felt like I was just an outlier. Like I didn't really feel like I belonged at the school because I wasn't like that at all.
Right.
But and both my sisters, they were both in a sorority, and they found an awesome community through their sorority. And so I was like, okay, they kind of told me Greek life is like a great place to find people that are more like me at the school.
Yeah.
And so I knew I was going to rush. Rush is like where you go. And
yeah, I know that much.
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
Yeah. So I was going to go rush the fraternities. And I was between a couple of them, one of them being Theta Xi, the Christian fraternity, the one that I ended up joining. The other one was, it's an awesome fraternity. It's not like a Christian fraternity. There's awesome dudes in it.
Yeah.
But it was definitely more worldly, definitely more of a normal fraternity than like a frat bros.
The classic.
Classic frat bros.
Yep.
And, what really, and honestly, looking back, it's kind of cheesy because like, what fraternity are you going to join? But it really was like a really hard decision for me. Like I saw a lot of counsel about it, prayed a lot about it.
Well, the whole dynamic, your whole trajectory in your college career is kind of contingent on that, right? Your social life, where you live even, right? Yeah. So it's not like a willy-nilly decision. I've never been in that situation, but yeah, interesting. Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. And what really came down to it for me, I knew that joining another fraternity and being around non-believers would, I knew that would be hard. But I felt like, I'm not going to be influenced by them. I thought, I was kind of invincible at the time. Like, I'm not gonna be influenced, and it's not the healthy that need a doctor, it's the sick.
Sure.
So I was like
mission minded,
right? Which there's nothing wrong with that at all,
right?
But at the end of the day, Jesus had his 12 that he came home to, and that's kind of like the way I thought about it. Is when I'm at the house, I'm out doing my thing in college. I'm at class, doing activities. I'm playing sports. I'm doing all this. And then what do you come back to?
Yeah.
And I think the biggest reason I decided to join a Christian fraternity is because I looked at all the guys in Theta Xi and all the guys in other fraternities, and I kind of thought, if I was a culmination of all the guys, which guy would I rather be like? And I would definitely rather be like the guys that were in Theta Xi. I mean, no disrespect to the other guys. Right?
Sure. If you're watching, no disrespect.
Yeah. All the people that are watching this.
Yeah,
from Atlanta.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, I just think that they were just more men of God, more men that I really respected, that I wanted to be like, that I wanted to be influenced by. And yeah, so I joined Theta Xi, the Christian fraternity, and yeah, it was great. I mean, it definitely, I never regretted it, but I definitely thought, oh, well, what if I had joined another fraternity?
Sure.
Like that kind of thing.
Would the grass have been greener?
Would the grass have been greener, exactly. But no.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. You kind of balanced a tension that we, as Christ followers, if you're listening, have to balance, right? So you had that opportunity to be more missional, join a secular, if you will, fraternity, which I think there's an expectation that we all have friendships with people that aren't of Christ, right? If you're just sticking with your Christian club and never going out and, reaching people, then that's a problem. But at the same time, though, the tension we have to balance, though, is that when it comes to, again, I never was in a fraternity or whatever, but it seems like, man, the house is where you're like, you let your guard down. That's where you're going to, be more intimate, not to be weird about it, but with your friends, right? Not
Oh,
yeah. No.
No, yeah. I know what you mean. I know what
sexual
you
way.
mean, yeah.
But it's like, oh, we're gonna have the deeper talks and conversations. We're gonna do
absolutely.
life, talk about girls, whatever
Yeah,
type of thing.
no,
Conversations.
absolutely.
Yeah, maybe intimate was a poor choice of words, in today's age. But anyway, you recognize that. Yeah, I think I want that space after a long day of classes, mascotting, whatever, to be more of a not a sanctuary, but just a place where you can dwell with people that are like-minded as you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why for me, I had the pleasure and I still have the pleasure of having roommates that are of the faith. And I've never experienced living somewhere with a roommate that's like not a believer, right?
Yeah.
And I imagine as a mature believer that's actually trying to walk the walk, that can get kind of hard to be missional in like your sacred space, if you will.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's important. And that's why I think, personally, if you're a Christian watching, your 5 closest friends, or at least 3, 5 would be great, but if you at least get 3 or 2 or 1, we'll take what we can get. Your closest friends should really be like-minded, of the faith, Christians, people that you're really bringing your soul to. It doesn't mean you can't have a close non-Christian friend. That's what I'm saying. But at least someone or multiple people in that most intimate circle of influence, using that word again, should be of the faith. It's going to be helpful for you in your growth. But it sounds like you were and you still are a strong believer. So I think you would be able to, handle that secular environment in that other fraternity, but it would be hard. It would probably be a lot harder.
It would have been a lot harder. And I do think I would have been more influenced by more worldly things. I'm not saying I would have gone off the rails or anything like that.
Sure. But why put yourself in that situation to get off the rails in the beginning?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Cool. So that fraternity, honestly, kind of like a brotherhood, right? Building that community, you sought it out because you wanted to find people that were like you in a school that maybe were full. Typically, the people are wired different than you, so that's a good way. Like for me, yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, trying to be charitable, trying to be nice. But for me, I've never had the experience at 1. Both colleges I went to were really small, and then 2, I was on the soccer team for both of them, so the soccer team was my fraternity, if you will. I already had my friends through the soccer team. I didn't have to worry about making friends. It was an easy, playing a sport's always the easiest way to make friends, in my opinion.
True.
So if you are struggling to find friends, how about you try a sport? If you're not athletic, then that's a problem. You find something else. I'm sure.
If you're not athletic, go play pickleball.
Anyone can play pickleball. Yeah, true. Yeah. It's getting
Shout
popular.
out pickleball. Love it and hate it.
You love it and hate it. It's a love-hate relationship for sure.